and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to London. This evening, I'm bringing you a world exclusive. I am out, you may have spotted it in the background, not my pista. I'm not going to be boring on about the pista today. I'm out with a 7X Design GTO. This car has been all over the internet recently. It's been causing waves in the automotive industry. And this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take this out for its first drive. I'm going to take you around the car, get it moving, you can hear it, we can look at some details, and it's going to be a really cool video. So I'm absolutely honoured to even get close to this thing. I actually saw it at the Grand Prix Ball the other evening, parked up, motionless. It looked amazing, just sat there. And it's super exciting to get behind the wheel of this thing and give you some driving impressions and just talk through exactly what 7X have done with this car, because there's some really, really cool details, some cool like Ferrari nostalgic details they've managed to incorporate into the design. And I think they've done an incredible job, because a lot of times when people sort of try coachwork stuff, it doesn't look OEM, it doesn't really work. But I think what they've achieved here is very, very rare. So without further ado then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm losing my voice as well. It's been quite a rough weekend at Mod Ball. Let's go over and take a little look. And I'm not going to bore on about the pista. It's cool to have the pista here because 7X will actually work on pistas as well. Should the client bring them a pista to work on, they will do this work to a pista. But we're not going to talk about it today. It's very dirty as well, so I'm going to try and keep it off camera. Firstly then, I am going to do an Archie saying just look at it sat there. But the presence on this thing, if you compare it to the pista there, the car is basically based on, this is actually based on a standard 488, which actually makes it even more incredible. The fact that this thing now looks like this is actually unreal. When this turned up, I was just grinning from ear to ear, because genuinely look at it. I'll come down here. Look at all that aero going on there. So you've got the GTO on the back there. And we'll go around and we'll discuss how the aero all works there. But if you actually, I know I said I wouldn't mention it, but if you actually compare it to the pista there, it makes it look tame. It actually makes that car look tame. And that is no mean feat. Anyway, I'm gonna start around the front. Come with me. Round the front here. Actually, one of the only things that they've kept on this car are the original headlights. But they, even with these, they've modified them. So they brought it in slightly closer there. But from the front, you immediately see this has got some sort of a 288 GTO nods. The lights down here, got a massive piece of carbon, this big wing here. And the aero is extremely clever. We're gonna have to get on the floor here. But the air actually comes up through that gap underneath here. I'm gonna get that open actually. How do we get the front open? I'm going to open up the door. Actually, this touches on another nice design. That is actually an improvement on the Ferrari. Ferrari, if you're watching, that is how the doors should have been in the first place. Because on mine over here, that is probably, I mean, it's covered in dust, sorry everyone, but that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. The door handles should have looked like this in the first place. So 7X have actually done this. You push it in and the door opens. So Ferrari, if you are watching, then please do pay attention. I'm now going to open the front. So all the standard OEM stuff, it all still works as normal, and we will get onto the interior very shortly. There's not a million things to say about that, to be fair. It's all been kept rather cool in there. So as you can see, the air comes through underneath there and then it's channeled out to the back of the car. We'll lift this up. And one of the other cool things as well, this actually releases the front. So you touch that. So actually another really, really cool feature. So as I was saying, the air comes in through there, super cool. But also what 7X have done, this is a new tub in here, and you wouldn't know that that's actually been changed. You've got carbon all the way around here, but this is a new boot tub. Here we go, do you like it?
YouTuber.
Yeah, I'm not a very good one, but I still do it anyway.
What's your name called?
It's called TGTV. Yeah, it's not very good, I apologise in advance, but this car's on it, so that's a good thing. Do you like it? TGTV. Yeah, it's not my car. I'm in a lot of debt.
What's your thing name?
Whose car is this?
Be very careful. Do you know how much this costs? Have a guess.
2,500.
How much did you say?
1,500.
Totally wrong.
2,500.
200,000.
You're all close there, but add another zero. Another zero.
2 million.
2,000.
He's got it. There we go. Anyway, we're doing a sensible £2 million. Mind out. Watch out, boys. We don't.
What's it called again?
TGTV. Yeah. Honestly, it's terrible. Don't watch it. I'm trying to do a review here anyway, so it's all getting very sensible. Send me an invoice. Appearance fee.
What's it called? TGTV.
I know, it's a lot to get your head round, but you'll get there in the end.
I must subscribe to it.
Chaos. No, no, don't. Honestly, it's crap. Okay, right, I'm carrying on with the review, boys. Don't mind me. So we've got a new wheel design here.
TG.
G, I'm not J, you waste man.
Wasteman indeed. So we've got a new wheel design here as well. You can option the factory wheels on there, but this is a brand new design that they've spec'd for this car, and I think they look really cool.
TGTV.
Yeah, we got it. We got that. I'll write it down if you want.
When are you going to upload it?
I don't know. I'm rather busy. It'll be next week at some point. Anyway, as I was saying, we got a new wheel design down here, and we've got a little badge down here, much like Pininfarina do on there. So we've got design cues coming from there. We don't mention McLaren, boys. Everything will catch fire. Don't mention them. We've got design cues from the F40 down the side here, and this little scoop here. And there's a bit of F50 in here as well, and we've got this big side intake. Loads of nostalgia. Anyone that's into historic Ferraris will notice loads of design cues from that. And one of the really cool features that I love is this rear deck, and that is absolutely plucked from the F40. Really cool. And this is all done in-house by 7X Design. Coachworks. Round the back then, this is where it gets really exciting. It looks like the FXXK cars, or is that how you say it? I don't know. I always get in trouble and it looks like a swear word. But the aero here, this is exactly like their cars. And underneath here, we've got this huge new diffuser. And actually, one of the cool things earlier, I was discussing it with the head honcho here. He was saying that the DRS actually still works as normal, but you've got a lot more aero from the massive rear diffuser there. Very cool. You've got the GTO badge there. Rather cool indeed. So then, for those watching this video thinking, I would actually quite like one of these, how does it all work? You actually bring a donor car to 7X, or they will source a car for you. So that can either be a 488, a 488 Pista, or actually an F8 Tributo as well. And they will work on any of those. And if you're looking at this and thinking, I don't like, that's chaos going on in there. If you don't like that, for example, or there's some element of the design you don't want or you want to change, they are coach builders. They will actually just change the design so you can have a one-off. It's super bespoke, and obviously you can choose whatever colour you want and all the rest of it. But I think that looks completely OEM. It looks like that P80. It actually looks better than that P80 thing that was banding around at Goodwood. Very impressed with this. I'm going to close that there. There you go. And the panel gaps as well. One of the main gripes a lot of people have about sort of remakes and Coachworks built cars and sort of bespoke builds like this is the finishing and the quality. I must say the panel gaps and the finishing on this car, albeit kind of a pre-production car actually, or sort of a late developed prototype if you will. The panel gaps are amazing, the fit and finish is absolutely astonishing, and it could have rolled out of Ferrari. Really nicely done. I was expecting potentially for it to be a bit ropey, you know, because I'm a bit skeptical of things that aren't OEM. But it is a million times better than McLaren. I mean, the panels fit together. It's brilliant, and nothing's falling off. So very cool. I think then, now that the rabble has dispersed, the one at the front's running, he's definitely got something that belongs to me. Distractions aside, it's now time to get in the FX Design GTO and go for a little drive. I'm holding this isn't the key, the key's in there. Time now to jump in. Tim, if you will, start up please, sir.
I will, sir.
And I'll talk through performance, all the other questions you've now got in the comments. I'm sure you've been leaving them in there. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Ordinarily, I'll be using my Centurion key, Tim. Here we go. Many thanks, sir. I shall see you in a bit. Just going for some driving lessons,
steal it.
if that's okay. Actually quite tempted, to be honest.
It's
Bit
good.
of an upgrade from the Pista.
Yeah.
Anyway, shoot. Thank you. Right. I am in the 7X Design GTO, and we'll turn the radio off. We don't want to be listening to Radio 1 at this point. It's a left-hand drive. Here we go. I'll try not to shunt it, because that would not be good news if I shunted this thing. The view then through the rear deck, I'll get moving so we stop listening to that annoying noise. The first thing you notice then is that view through the rear deck. And I mean, I've never been in an F40, but it must look very similar to that. You've got plexiglass and the engine immediately visible right behind me. We've got just the tips of the wings visible, and you can also see these huge side intakes out of each wing mirror, which is really cool. So much more presence than the standard car. Now then, the question everyone, hello everyone. Just driving a £2 million car around in London, nothing to see. The question on everyone's lips then, performance wise then, what is done to the car? Have they done anything with it? Have they fiddled around with it and potentially ruined years of R&D that Ferrari, shut up! Potentially years of R&D that Ferrari have put into this amazing twin-turbo V8 engine. No, they haven't. They haven't fiddled around with it. Ferrari know best when it comes to engines, and they themselves have admitted they are not engine tuners. They're not one of these companies that's just going to plug it into a laptop, up the boost, and then tell you, goodness me, and then tell you, you know, you've got an extra 100 brake horsepower, off you go. That's not the case with these guys. One of the joys about this thing is, it is still an incredible car. It's still a 488, in this case 488 GTB. Everything works as you'd expect. It drives like a 488 GTB. The 488 GTB is an unbelievable car, and if you brought them a pista, it would still drive like a pista. Everything is exactly the same. Even in here as well, they will do interior trim if you want them to, but to all intents and purposes, it's just like the normal car, which is unbelievable. I think a lot of these tuning companies, they go far too far. They start fiddling around with absolutely everything because they think they play God and they think they know best on absolutely every aspect of the car. And 9 times out of 10, they don't. 7X will actually put on a Novitec exhaust, for example, should you want that. They will fit performance parts to the engine, should you want that. But they themselves will not mess around with the performance of the car. It's quite surreal going from a pista down to a 488. And actually, earlier today, I just want to tell everyone this, I drove an F12 TDF, so today has not been a bad day at all. We are actually in a 20-mile-an-hour zone here, and because this thing's £2 million, and it's one of the only one, well, it is the only one in the world right now, working car, I'm not going to take it out onto some silly back roads and push it. I'm literally just going to drive it around and give you guys the lowdown and just, you know, get out in it, because, you know, this is bucket list stuff here. Tim's here, waving along. Try not to crunch into my pista. That would be a very silly thing to do. So what else to tell you about this car? I've already covered the cost of it, 2 million quid, as I said, or thereabouts. It's obviously going to depend on exactly what you do to the car, how much bespoke stuff goes into it, but the cost is going to be roughly 2 million. There aren't going to be many of these at all. This is going to be one of the rarest cars on the road, and to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm ever going to see another one. Anyway, as I was saying, this is going to be one of the rarest cars in the world, so it truly is for the sort of person out there that just wants something that nobody else has, and something that's actually been done properly for once. Right, I think it's now time to pull it in. I've averted shunting it in any way, shape or form. I'm just going to pull it in here, probably about 35 miles away from the curb. You can see there, the owner of the company is actually here, and you can see him sort of nervously looking, thinking, what is this idiot doing? As always on this channel, we do get stuff wrong quite a lot of the time. I just want to correct what I said. If you've heard me spending £2 million, I think I did to those kids, it's not. It's going to be about 1.3 million euros for the first unit sold. And for that's about, I don't know what the exchange rate is by the time this video goes out, probably about £1 million quid. So for something that you're probably not going to see another one of, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. And I'm going to ring my finance company very shortly. This might have been quite an expensive trip. Right, you lot, hopefully you enjoyed that world exclusive here on TGTV. The FX Design GTO is now on its way. We wave goodbye to it, but we'll be seeing it very, very soon. I've got some plans with this car. It will be back on the channel for some more proper driving and some more stuff that you couldn't even possibly call proper driving, but it'll be back causing chaos on the channel. That was a little taster of the car. So let me know what you think of the car. And I know purist Ferrari people will say, oh, you shouldn't modify Ferrari, blah 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 blah, yeah. But I actually think they've nailed the ethos of Ferrari quite well with the car. I think they've actually hit bob on. That's going to be pretty much as good as you're going to be able to get an aftermarket company, a coachworks company, making their own version of a Ferrari. So well done to them. Very, very keen on that car. I have actually spent every single penny I had, so there won't be one joining the garage. There won't be anything joining the garage for quite some time. However, it is now chaos. However, it is now time to end the video. As always, make sure you're following me on Roadster app. I'm on there. It is a driving app. If you don't know about Roadster, I'll leave all the details below. Make sure you're following me on that. And of course, check out the 7X Design website, because there is more details on there. You can look at all the nerdy tech specs and all that kind of stuff if that is what you're into. Anyway, for now then, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, blah, 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 and I'll see you again very soon. Bye now. Good.